Well, I got the G-pole jacked up in the air, and actually I got two sets of jack stands on it, one under the frame, one under the axles, two pairs. So this has got an open end rear, which you can see if I'm spinning the tire this way, you can see which way the tire goes underneath in the opposite direction. So we're putting a LockRight locker in it. I already doused down the bolts by the U-joints. They should come out pretty easy anyway. I doused them down with PV Blaster. I'm going to put a notch in the flange and by the flange, the pinion flange and the U-joint flange to make sure that they go in the same place. Maybe not 100% necessary, but there's going to be a notch cut in there with a little bit of white paint to make sure they go back in the same place. And we're going to start pulling this apart. Okay, so I just pulled the wheels off. I used the air impact. Did it last night. I figured just get a jump on things. Next is going to be pulling the axles out. What I'll have to do is take the bolts off the backing plate, reinstall the wheel with a couple bolts, and with this a couple just not on there too tight, because this will pull out the axle, and you probably have to pound on the wheel to pull out the axle a little bit. But we got to get the bolts out of the back, and see if you can see those really good. Take them out with the impact. It's one here, one there. I don't know if it's coming out in the camera, but I'll take them out with the impact. The easy way. Okay, before you take the drive shaft off, you want to mark. Actually, I use the Dremel tool, or you can use a punch. I actually just didn't put a really deep notch in it, just a little slight little groove, and some nail polish, which is some tough stuff. Painted it white in a groove so they'll go back in exactly where they were. Okay, after you remove the drive shaft, and of course it's marked on flange and up on the drive shaft, tie it up out of the way. Also keep the bolts inside in here, so with the washers and a nut on this side and the bolt going through the U-joint side might makes a difference. That's how it's installed at the factory. Just put that as a note. I'm going to use a Loctite blue when I put those damn things back on anyway. Now a lot of times what I do with these brake after I soak them with PB penetrating blaster, whatever the hell you call that stuff again, the wrench you use actually is it grips basically almost on 6 sides. It's for that type of deal, but even those will round it out. I put the vice grips on it and I keep tapping it with the hammer very lightly. I don't put it on there so much that I crush them, but they're loose. See? They're loose. I think a lot of people do that, but you're going to have a hard time with these. These weren't too bad, but you might have a hard time with these because they get rusty. So anyway, get these off now. Yeah, make sure you fill up your brake reservoir in the front, because if you let it run dry, you'll have to bleed the front calipers, and if those bleeder valves are rusted, you might have a hard time. And it's really only need to cap this one coming from the front. At least that's how it is on this car, this Samurai, because it goes from this wheel. Actually, mine's backwards because I got. Yeah, actually, it'll be on a. Well, it's on the side with the steering wheel. My steering wheel's on the right-hand side, so it'd actually be on the left side of the vehicle on yours. On mine, it's on the right-hand side because I got a right-hand drive. So you only need to cap the one side coming from the, the brake master cylinder, because the other side, it feeds through the wheel cylinder and goes to the opposite side. I'm pretty sure. Well, that's how it is on this one. And on this one, the brakes, the emergency brake is up on the back of the transfer case. In your case, on the Samurai, you're going to have to disconnect the emergency brake, because when you pull this whole thing out. Now, after I removed the 4 backing plates, the 4 bolts, nuts exactly, and washers on the backing plate, there's 12 millimeters I just put two nuts on the, what do you call it, the brake drum, and then there's like 6 lugs that hold on the wheel. I put them on real loose so I can go like this, and it would work like a slide hammer, and it would go bang, bang, and now the axle popped out. And this axle actually had some bearings and seals put in it a while ago, so they should be okay. Yeah, I hope you get what I'm talking about. In other words, like if you're you can use a slide hammer, or you could try to like put these bolts on tight and hammer the back of the wheel with a piece of wood and over the tire, over the rim, and hit it with a hammer. But if you're using this, if these are on loose, this rim, when you pull it out like this, it's working exactly like a real heavy duty slide hammer. So it pulls it out real easy. Okay, so here's the axle. You can see there's the bearing on here, and there's the seal. These were changed out a while ago. They should still be good, but I'm going to take these out, and well, if you need to change them, also I'm going to take some measurements, because this actually is a pumpkin, is the same as a Samurai. The axle length is the same as the SJ 410. I got confused when I got the locker for that reason, because actually a lot of people told me I picked the wrong one, and it's actually got, this one year only has 390 ratio. An SJ 410 has a 411 ratio, and a Samurai has a 373 ratio stock, so this is a 390. But I'm going to take measurements on these axles, because I can get these axles made from Moser Engineering if I need to have replacements. It's not like they're impossible to get, because they make any size you want. It's the way it is. And that's Moser, M-O-S-E-R Engineering. I don't sell for them, but I got those Moser axles in the back of my El Camino a while back. You can kind of leave the axles hanging there like supported up with something, but that's not really great, because it might screw up the seal. So I take them out, covered up the brake line, this elastic band on here, cover up the axles in the back of the El Camino. This will be on a, well, it's obvious one axle shorter than the other, right? Because it's going to rain probably in the 24 hours, and I'll probably get stopped from doing this, because I'm outside, because I can't lift the Jeep up in this place, and I don't have enough room laterally. It's good for parking it in there and doing little shit, but I can't do this in there. Well, note that I use a very strong, it is a strong, this magnet, see it? It's actually, I let it sit right here, just on the one side of the drain plug at the lowest part, so it'll collect any crap over there, and we'll see if there's any junk in there. Probably not. It should be laying right here. There is. Next, take off the pumpkin with the air impact. That'd be the fastest way. Well, there it is. There's the third member. Looks like they it was stuck in there pretty good, because they used like an RTV sealant. Actually, that's what I'm using. They used a sealant, no gasket. So I got a special, it's not plain RTV, it's something really good for this kind of stuff. So I'm going to put it on the back of the El Camino now. And since it's out of the vehicle, and this is all protected, even though this is outside, I'm going to turn the El Camino around, because instead of having the tailgate stick out, it'll be like in the middle of the carport, so I can work on this crap even if it starts raining. So anyway, get this in the back of the El Camino right now. Oh, by the way, yeah, this is what I was going to say, I forgot. You really need to you leave the last bolt up in here. These are 12mm bolts. There's 8 of them. You leave one of them left up in here, either this one or this one. On the top, you leave it loose. You try to jack it up on the end, on that very end there, with the jack. And you also take a block of wood, like I have down there, the block of wood, and a hammer. and with the block of wood up against this, you start tapping all around it, it's going to be stuck in there pretty good. And you'll leave that one bolt in there loose. Then you take your floor jack. I mean, you can wrestle it out of there, but it's easier with the floor jack. And then once it's loose, you can pull it out, pull it back, and get it out. It's going to be kind of stuck in there, so you want to leave that one bolt or up here on the top, or this one loose, so it doesn't fall down or anything, in case when you're prying it. This way you can crack the bottom open. It took a little bit to do it, man. I was actually surprised it was really stuck on there, and I see why they were using this. I'm sure it's not plain RTV. I got some crap like this too. It's like a gray stuff. It's not the regular RTV. It's better than that. That's what's going on there. So next, you can see I got my one mark. That's for the drive shaft. I'll probably mark the pinion here. I don't know how I'm going to mark these yet. I know I got to mark this pinion, the ring gear to this. I'm going to mark it to this, to that, to the carrier. I'm going to tell you the truth. Most of the time when you're putting these kits in, you don't have to do all this stuff. These LockRight lockers, I didn't realize this one was like this. I was thinking it was like a Chevy. With a Chevy, a lot of the Chevys, you just take the back cover off, and there's a pinion pin in there, one bolt. It comes out, the side gears come out, and you put in the locker unit, and you put just the two side gears, and you leave out the other two, the top two, and it's a lot easier. This is actually, I'm going to have to take a lot of this apart, man. I didn't realize this until after I got it. I says, whoa, man. So I don't think anybody did a full video on it, so we shall see. I got all the crap though, the dial indicator and everything, torque wrenches, air impact, and everything's getting marked. Just to give you a preview, when you back off these adjusters, that's all has to be marked, because there's a preload on these bearings, everything. All that has to be marked, and I'm going to check the backlash on the gears, see how it is. Should be alright. They look pretty good shape, man. This thing's got 200,000 miles on it. 220. These really don't look like they're worn. That's because I kept the oil change in it. I had it since almost new. Okay, so now I just reversed the El Camino, so I'm right smack in the middle of the carport, so it should be okay. We could start doing this even if it starts raining. I don't have to clean up all the tools first, and this will be part one, and we'll get into what all the torques are and stuff, and how to mark this up. And shouldn't be too bad, actually. Shouldn't be too bad at all.